I did not just walk away from corporate America. I fought back. And in that fight, I found myself. So this isn't just about a story of injustice, okay? The story I'm going to share with you today. It's a story really about my awakening. Fighting back taught me who I really was and what I really valued, and how I would never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, okay, settle again. Now, I want to give you, in case you're not familiar with my story, I won't go too deep. I'll give a high level overview. So, whether you're new to me or true to me, welcome or welcome back. Katrina Marie here. So, my background, really quickly, before I start doing this work as a holistic business coach, RN health and wellness educator, and freedom strategist and healer. Okay, I have a lot of titles, but they're kind of all baked into one, really, based on my experience. So, if you don't know, I worked in corporate America for 30 long years. Okay, 25 of those years were in healthcare. As a registered nurse, I worked in a variety of healthcare settings and a variety of roles. 20 plus years in leadership. And I've done, as a nurse, by the way, I worked in very non traditional and traditional roles. Okay, and I have about a decade or more. I stopped counting after 10 years of coaching and consulting, both in corporate and 9 years in as of this recording for my online coaching and consulting company, Shared Visions by Katoa. So I've been doing this, and this is my third iteration, this particular business for 9 years. Okay. I also have an HR background, obviously a business background, and legal background, trained and certified. So that's a little about me, just so you get familiar, because as we go into the story, it's going to make more sense, right? So I wanted to start there. Now, there are so many jobs are dysfunctional, right? Employers, corporate America in general. It's a systemic issue that we're dealing with, especially for women of color. But there are some toxic workplace dynamics that I've been a part of, all of the variations. Okay. But there's workplace bullying, right? There is the mob approach. If you've not been through that, I have all of these kinds of stories, by the way, grouped into my playlist called The Corporate Chronicles, My Corporate Chronicles. So if you're ever interested in diving deeper into all of the shenanigans and my crazy corporate chronicles, you can catch the series there. But workplace bullying, mob approach, which is another form of bullying, by the way, but it's where your superiors and your subordinates both come at you all at the same time. Okay. Of course, I've dealt with discrimination, harassment, retaliation, wrongful termination on all levels. Okay. So I have, in all cases, spoken up for myself. I've always been a huge advocate, not only for myself, but for others who were done wrongly. Okay. And because of that, when I give pushback, when I speak up, it's not always well received, right? Especially by the powers that be, who then put a target on your back. It raises a red flag, and now they see you as the problem. And I'm okay with that. I don't mind being the problem, okay, if that's how they want to see it. It's sad that they see it that way, because they can see it as a solution and fix the problem themselves, but they're toxic people too. Do you know what I mean? So they fit within the realms of those spaces, and many of us don't. Okay. Now, in the tenure of my career, I have filed multiple lawsuits. I have gone to the EEOC. I have initiated audits. Okay, on companies. I have nearly gotten doors closed. I've worked closely and personally, professionally, I should say, with JCO, or the Joint Commission for Healthcare Organizations. I've worked with the Studer Group as a consultant, as a transition champion, changing the culture of toxic organizations. Um, I've gotten leaders and employees alike fired and demoted. Like, I've been there, done that. I've done all the things. Okay. But still, I need you to know, within all of that, it takes an emotional, physical, mental, financial, and spiritual toll on you. Okay. It did for me. So if you're there right now, I can completely relate, and maybe you can resonate with what I'm saying. And what I discovered, though, about courage, about clarity, about my calling is that advocacy and fighting for justice is in my DNA. I am built for this. I really and truly am. So I am a natural born leader. I love to advocate. I love to lead. Okay. I have been sent into corporations to clear the clutter, to be the cleanup woman. I call it the cleanup woman. Okay. For the cultures of these toxic organizations. And I now teach others how to do the same, how to advocate for themselves, how to fight for themselves, what they need to do, how important documentation is, because the one key thing that I did for myself in all of these instances was documentation. And that has won a time and time and time and time again these cases that I put together for myself and for others as well. I actually have a video that I recorded recently that you can check out. I'll see if I can remember to leave it in the card above or in the description box below, okay, or at the end of the video. So what I did was I turned my pain into purpose and created a business that made me profits doing what I do, right? By pretty much taking my lived experience and, basically what I've lived through and what I've learned, what I've grown through, right? Because what we go through, we grow through, so that I can be a beacon of light for others like you. So I need you to know that even though the system tried to silence me, all they really did was give me a microphone, honey, because what I did is took my platforms to amplify my message and my voice. They cannot shut a sister down, okay? I don't work that way. The more you try to corner me, silence me, box me in a cage, a bubble, a corner, back me against a wall, I'm coming out swinging, okay? And I will go past 12 rounds if I have to. That's just who I am. When I say I am built for this, I am built for this. Okay. That Leo the lion comes out roaring. Okay. And so now, before we go any further or any deeper, okay, because it's going to get good, I'm going to go ahead and continue this story. But before I do, I want to make sure that if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I want to continue the dialogue beyond this video. And I want to know what's really hitting home. What's hitting that heart? What's like, man, it just like punch you below, punch you in the gut or in your throat. And you're just like, ooh, she's talking to me. Or, ooh, she could see me. Or she's telling a part of my story. What's that aha moment for you so far? What's resonating with you deeply? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are getting value from this video so far, any of my content here, then go ahead and subscribe, okay? And hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live, okay? Thank you very much. Now, what did I learn from corporate America? Lots of things, really. I speak about the good and the bad of corporate America, okay? Because it wasn't all bad for me. But today, I want to really focus on and hone in on the message I'm delivering today. So, what I've learned in a nutshell is that you are disposable. No matter how loyal you are, no matter how many years you've been there, no matter the sweat equity you put in, no matter how much of your talents you've given, no matter, how you've shown up, what your impeccable track record has been, that you've never missed a day, you didn't take time off work as far as being just calling out sick. None of that matters. Doesn't matter that you have never had that you've only had, great performance reviews, no substandard reviews, right? Like none of that truly matters, because at the end of the day, they are a business. It is a system. It is a machine. There are toxic, dysfunctional people behind that machine that makes this a whole systemic issue. Corporate America is very broken. Okay. So they're not there to save you. And they will make a decision, a business decision. They won't make it necessarily personal, or it might be a personal and business decision, but they don't not necessarily tell you that, right? And they'll let you go in a heartbeat, as we're seeing now, right? In this time, as of the recording of this video. Excuse me. And so HR, by the way, is not a safe space for you to go. Okay. HR is definitely not your friend, honey. They will be the first to throw you up under the bus, throw you out to the wolves and watch you wither away. You know what I'm saying? They don't care, because they're not there to protect you as the employee. They are there to protect the employer. You, my dear, are just a liability. Okay. And you can be replaceable. You're currently a warm butt in the seat, right? Doing the job that they hired you to do, but they'll replace you in a minute, just like that. Okay. Or not at all. So many women, especially Black women, women of color, there's about 300 plus 300. I hope I didn't see that last video. Sometimes I do. My mind and my mouth don't match, because I'm always on fast forward, but over 300,000 women. Okay. So I want to be really clear. So if you see a video where I've said 300, honey, no, 300,000 women, Black women, have been targeted, and we continue to be targeted and traumatized in these toxic spaces. Okay. I want you to also know that yes, you can sue the companies. Okay. You can fight, and you should fight for your rights, fight for justice, right? But the battles are long, can be, not always. However, it can be liberating in the end. Okay. So just know you should never be afraid to speak your truth. It is an all-consuming process, yes. But if you have your ducks in a row and all of your documentation organized and in place, and you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, okay, you will be well on your way to a more expeditious settlement, if that's the route you go. And it would be hard. You would have a very strong case, a very solid case that they can try and rebuttal, and they will. They'll spin it, the narrative, to look, in their to their favor. But you will have the upper hand, because you will follow my guide, basically, that I gave you in the other video where I talk about how documentation is key. All right. So what I specifically have learned about myself is that I am extremely resilient and relentless. I deserve, and what I am really fighting for at the end of the day is peace, my internal peace, and power. I need the control back. I don't like anybody being in control of me, my destiny, or my destination. Okay. I have a problem with that big time. I've learned that my story, my journey, sharing that heals people. And I love that for me and for you, those that I have healed, because that is really the work I do. That's the work I do at its core, right? So I've taken my background in nursing and healthcare, and I brought that into the business side of things, and helping you transition and heal from toxic environments, even not just corporate, but maybe in your home life as well. So that's what's unique about me. And I also learned that I am not the problem. Okay. I know that the system is. But when you're going through these things sometimes and nobody's speaking out loud about it, everybody's keeping it hush, 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 and secretive, and there's no normalcy around having these conversations out loud, you can tend to feel alone in the journey, right? You don't know that you're not, because nobody's talking about it. Like, why aren't we talking about this? So I am normalizing these very needed conversations, right? We have got to start having candid and courageous conversations. We have got to start telling our truth and being fully transparent. We have got to, so that others know that they are not alone in the journey, and we can collaborate, congregate, get into community and sisterhood, and help each other along, help each other heal, right? Not stay in the struggle, but have holistic success, because that is ultimately what we crave, is it not? Okay. So really my biggest and I guess kind of final message as we tie this all together, what I really want you to take away from this conversation is that for me, this wasn't just about closing like closing a chapter or like a career ending chapter, I'll call it. It was really about opening new doors. It was about my freedom chapter, my freedom era, opening up a new chapter or era of my life. You feel me? And I now help women with their liberation story too. Is that you? Because if it is, if you're a woman, a high achieving woman over 40, whether you're still in corporate America or you've got a toe in and a toe out, right? And you're kind of already dabbling in business, or maybe you've left the workforce altogether, but you need some healing from that trauma that you experienced, because the healing, the trauma, if you don't heal, will follow you right into the business side of things and spill over into other aspects of your life as well. So if you feel like you're flatlining, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do to save myself. I just don't have the toolbox that I need. I don't have the skills necessarily. I don't know what to do. I feel so broken. Or, whatever the case might be for you, I do need to heal all those parts and pieces of me so that I can feel whole, complete, and happy again. I want to find my happy place again. Where is that? Where's the me that used to be lively and passionate, full of passion and all of that? Had a strong desire for life. If you are burnt out from the 9 to 5 grind in these toxic ass environments and ready to finally build a business that gives you freedom and fulfillment and the flexibility you desire, right? Without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. If that's you, then here's what I want you to do next. I want you to book a freedom and focus clarity call with me. And we're going to design your 30-day freedom plan together. Yes, we are going to work together or have the opportunity to work together. Either if you need one-off support and you just have a few questions and you just kind of want to know what your next best most aligned step is, we can give you the clarity on that. Okay. But you will have an opportunity to work with me in an intimate setting in my group coaching program, the Legacy Leaders Lab, for 30 days. Yay. Okay. So get excited about that. Okay. And you'll have all the deets because I'm going to leave the pinned comment, leave the link in the pinned comment and description box below so you can get all the information you need. But this is going to give us an opportunity. If you are a fast action taker, and a solid decision maker, a true legacy leader like I am. And, it doesn't take you no time. You just make decisions like right now, today. This is what you need. This is what you've been hoping and wishing and praying for. Here I am, girl. Here I am. Okay. I take a holistic approach in my teaching methodologies, and pretty much what you see here is what you get. Okay. So if you like any of my content here and you've been following me so far for a minute, or even if you're new here and you're just like, man, I feel her vibes. I'm really feeling this. I want this is exactly what I need, then go ahead and click the link and reserve your spot today. If you do need to get on a clarity call with me, do know that investment, a very small investment you'll make for the clarity call, will go towards, it will be credited towards the group coaching program. Okay, so essentially the call is free. Now, I don't want you to delay anymore. I want this. I know this is your winning season. This is your time to shine. I want you to do yourself a favor and invest in you. We've got less than 100 days before we're going to be singing Happy New Year again, okay, before the holidays come. And girl, why would you just continue to be on the struggle bus when we can be on the bus, when we could be on the abundance limousine, okay? Living our first and best life, first class life, I call it, and best life. Popping champagne, bubbly, right? Like just doing it up and living it up. So if you want to finally live life on your terms and build an aligned and profitable online brand and business, then don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't hesitate. Go ahead right now and book that call or enroll in the program, whatever suits your fancy. Okay. You're the CEO of you and your brand and your life. So go ahead and make that decision right now. That's my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends, okay? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.